this as an update video, think of this as more of a video of me talking about things I really want to do. Because I don't like calling things update videos, and I don't like talking about updating things on my channel. Now, I know that I'm a little bit of a negative Nancy on this channel, and I'm fully willing to come out and say that. Now, I've got a couple of negative-ish videos that might be coming out. One of them specifically is about a developer that I really don't like. And the other one is about boomer shooters and trends that I think are becoming a little too oversaturated, if you know what I mean. However, I do want to go off on the record and say that I don't want to keep just making content in which I just sit in a corner and bitch and moan for the entirety of the video. Because I'm not always that type of person. Sure, I've got a lot that I want to get off my chest, but also, I don't want to just seem like that guy who just screams about stupid shit. You see, I have a little bit of a roadmap. Just a little bit of one. It's not a very detailed roadmap, but it does explain some of the stuff that I want to start talking about. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. If you know me in real life, or on the internet, you probably at this point know that I'm a huge leftist. I'm a huge advocate for leftist politics, and I want to push that a little bit more in my upcoming videos, and I want to find ways to talk about leftism and video game culture, because those are two things that I'm really interested in. So, there is that. If you really want to know some of my other positions, I'm more so of a syndicalist, but that's a talk for another time. I have a very firm belief system with leftism. The problem with me making content is that I don't know how to really explain my belief system, but also I don't want to be misinforming a whole bunch of people. So, yeah, there is that. However, let's get to the actual video game side, because I know that's what most of you people are here for. There are a couple of videos that I made back when Iceberg videos were very popular, and I still want to make the other two videos, but in a very different format. Now, I didn't really know or understand how to make a good Iceberg video, and so I decided that I was going to split them into 4 different sections, and then talk about multiple different games in each. However, I find that this is not a feasible model. There isn't that much wiggle room with the original model of a 4-part series that I had. Before we start, I want to explain a little bit of my mentality with these 4 videos. Cracking the Iceberg Part 1 was specifically supposed to be a video talking about games that had a very turbulent development cycle that ended up being released, whether it's in a good state or a bad state. That's it. That's what Cracking the Iceberg Part 1 was. Cracking the Iceberg Part 2 was supposed to be a video about games that weren't technically fully released, and that could have been lost media, but they had a prototype or some sort of thing released after it became lost for a while. Basically video game leaks. That's what Part 2 was supposed to talk about. Then you had Cracking the Iceberg Part 3. This was one of the 2 that didn't get released, and honestly this would have probably been the most interesting one. So, sorry for not making that video. I do plan on making it in a different form at some point though. So, without further ado, this is what Cracking the Iceberg Part 3 was supposed to be. The game is lost media. Any game on that video was lost media. The only thing that really would surface out of any of these were screenshots or video footage or maybe the developer mentioning something about it. So it does exist, but in what capacity, nobody really knows. Then you had Cracking the Iceberg Part 4. This was supposed to be talking about video game hoaxes and ARGs. It was more so supposed to be a little bit of a footnote for people who are looking to get into lost media, just so they know that what they're looking at isn't real. That's it. That's all that one was supposed to be. I didn't really get that far at all, and honestly, I didn't like where the series was going, and by this point, that's when I had canned the entire series. Was halfway after I made Part 3, and started thinking about making a script for Part 4. So, again, sorry for not finishing the series, but I do plan on making a Redux version that includes a whole bunch more stuff. Oh, and don't expect anything of Part 4 to be in the new one. Just Parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 4 with the ARG shit, I don't want to cover that. I'm not too terribly interested in video game type ARGs. So, yeah. Just letting you know, sorry, I'm not going to be talking about Petscop or Catastrophe Crow anytime soon. As for my Flash documentary that I wanted to make, I mentioned it in a Halo Infinite video a while back, but I don't have any real desire to make that video. So, if you were really looking forward to that, sorry, it's not happening. At least not for a while. And if it does happen, then it's going to be wildly different from how I already have it. I'm still planning on making the part 2 of the Valve documentary at some point. As of right now, I'm going through a little bit of another monster documentary phase where I rewrite it, then can it, then rewrite it, then can it, then rewrite it. But honestly, I think that's a good thing because last time that happened, again with the monster documentary, I ended up getting over 600 views on that video. By the way, thank you guys for watching that video. It really means a lot to me that I've managed to get more than 500 views on a video. That's fucking awesome, and I love you guys for that. I've watched a video about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and it's called Half-Life 2 Facts. It's a video by Pinsplash, which you should go check out. Honestly, great video, love it. The content on there is fucking awesome. I do want to make a video similar to that, talking about both Red Faction and Half-Life 2. Now, I'm going to focus on Half-Life 2 a little bit because I do know the intricacies of that game, as I used to be a Source Engine modder at one point. So, I do plan on making a Half-Life 2 Facts video, except it's going to be focused more on the back-end sort of stuff and not really the stuff that's in Pinsplash's video. And last but not least, OG viewers of this channel will remember the fact that I, uploaded a shitload of stuff to this platform. A good 250 or so-ish videos. And were they popular? No, not really. Not really, except for a couple of them that got over 6K viewers. And I plan on probably unprivating some as, in quotes, Techmo / Space Dog classics. However, there is an old series that I had that I want to redo from the ground up. It's called Cut and Unused Content. And I want to mostly go in depth about other games and how they had mechanics or content that was just taken out of the game because either A, they didn't fit in, or B, the developers just didn't like them. Now, before I end this video, I do want to say, I've got a couple of artist friends that I'm trying to get up off the ground at the moment. We got Glitchy Zone, who is a really good friend of mine. Awesome person. He's made art for me in the past, and I've been able to commission some really good stuff from him. Here's a sample image that I commissioned a while back. I have another artist friend by the name of Lissy Bun. They are a very good friend of mine as well, and they've made some damn impressive stuff. And one extra thing that I want you to know about them is that if you're in the Colorado Springs area, they will have a booth at the Colorado Springs Comic-Con. Here's a map of the place in case you want to go check out their booth. Give them a little tip as well. And the third artist I want to throw a mention for is Beast Studios. They're also a really hard-working artist, so check them out as well. And last but not least, there are 2 streamer friends of mine that I want to give a shout out to. There's Matt Z, who is a Rust streamer primarily, but I also have a friend of mine named Stargazer Bird, who's been playing a lot of Cult of the Lamb and Super Animal Royale recently. So if you want to check out their content, feel free. There's links in the descriptions to each of these people's accounts. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe as it does help out the channel. And with that out of the way, this has been Techmo Snowspark, signing out. Peace.